What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Exchange for the 50th time. Yay, episode 50. Here we are. It's good to reach a milestone for once. So yeah, very nice. Episode 50. Welcome. We'll talk a bit more about that later in the episode. But today, a lot to get through, a lot of little news here and there. Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you, Ari? What's going on with you? You know what? I've been having fun talking Star Wars with you the past days, but how you going?
Yep, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, yeah, it's I'm annoyed we had to delay the episode by a day, but is what it is. We're here today, ready to cover everything, and nothing insane going on, but a lot of little things that have caught both of our attention. So let's just get into it then. I think the biggest news of it all would be Tales of the Jedi confirmed to happening. Animated anthology shorts. They're going to reveal the series at Celebration this year. We've talked about this Tales of the Jedi series for a while on the podcast now, actually, but it's confirmed, it's locked in, it's animated. What are your thoughts?
I love the way this was revealed. I'm sure we'll we'll get into the more specifics of that, I guess, in our next topic. But um, yeah, I was we've Ari's the one that put the show on the map for me because he was one of the people posting about its existence and of its leaked it was like a leaked logo on some packaging, holiday packaging that the members of Lucasfilm got received. So, I was like, all right, it could be anything. It could be a little game, it could be a TV show, it could be a movie, who knows? But yeah, it's Ari just read out there. We got confirmation. Um, it's funny because last week we were not slandering, but we were like, we're not really. We have like lukewarm receptions to Visions coming back and whatnot. And that was an anthology series itself. But I mean, it'd be cool to see what they could do with this. I know Ari and I have theorized that maybe it's a different it's a different era each episode. Maybe they might have like 4 or 5 episodes and start off with the High Republic and work your way down the or work your way away across the board with all the different eras that there are, and include like different Jedi that we've come to know and love, like our friend Grogu here, if you're watching on YouTube, or hey, one of my favorites, Cal Kestis. I would love to see him get his own animated episode and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm
Definitely.
excited for this. This is new. It's not like I was scared that they were gonna do another, because I think for the animation stuff, the flagship show right now is Bad Batch, right? That's gonna be like
Yeah.
a concurring thing
Yeah.
for the next couple of years, we hope. But and if they could do like squeeze in like little animated projects like a droid story, Tales of the Jedi, like that's cool. I'm just curious as to yeah, where it sounds like they just announced a series. They're already gonna give us all the details about it at Celebration, but like we still have so many series like a droid story that were announced that we just have heard nothing. But we've already gotten like a reveal for this, and we're getting all the details at Celebration. So I'm interested, and we know that Dave Filoni's is attached as well. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see
Yeah.
what he's gonna bring to the table. But Ari, you see this news, what stuck out to you, and are you looking forward to it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as you said, Dave Filoni's involvement has me very excited. I've always just all we had was that little, title, and I thought this looks awesome. And I don't know, it's exactly what I thought it would be, an animated anthology. So I'm honestly very excited. I think one time I had a theory about it being like a Luke show or something, but even still, this is just good news to me. Yeah, the announcement is they've just succumbed to the leakers. They've just thought, you know what, everyone already knows this is happening. Like
Right,
they
right.
even just said Tales of the Jedi. Like they announced the show and just said nothing about it. It's just whatever. It's just what we've grown used to with with Lucasfilm. But on the creative side of it, no, I think it sounds great, and I'm just very excited to hopefully be in the room when they do reveal it with you, Mike, at
Yes,
Celebration. So
yes.
yeah, speaking of Celebration, the schedule has been revealed, and it's good. It's interesting. There's a lot going on. There's the big ones they've already announced, and we've already talked about, like the Mando panel, the Bad Batch, the Lucasfilm showcase. But yeah, they announced a whole lot of panels, pretty much every one. I don't think there'll be any more that they'll add at the last minute or anything, but a lot of them catching my eye. Mike and I are both, going to be attending Celebration, so that in itself has both of us very excited. And even for those who aren't going, thinking of which ones am I going to watch? Which ones are they even going to put on the stream? So, yeah, but the ones that caught my eye, Ian McDermott, that should be great. We've got a High Republic one coming. Looking forward to that. 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. That one sounds very, very good, especially after Mike, you were saying the 20th anniversary for Phantom Menace was a really good one.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Yeah. And then behind the scenes of Mando and Book of Boba, Star Wars Hunters. Hopefully, they can tell us when that game's going to come out. As we as we said, Tales of the Jedi, Doug Chang, Anthony Daniels, Del Rey, Jonas Swadamo, all sorts of stuff, and then the closing ceremony, and a lot more. I was just reading the ones out that caught my eye in particular. But yeah, Mike, are you excited for Celebration? We're going to be in these panels together, which is crazy. So
It's crazy. Yeah. No, listen, as already said, we're gonna be going to Celebration together, and we made a pact to each other. We're like, no, we gotta agree on which panels we go to because we're gonna go to everyone together. So hopefully we can see you
yeah,
guys at some of them. But yeah,
yeah,
these panels sound great. A lot. I was not gonna lie, I was expecting a little bit more for coming from the gates just because it's been a while from them, and I usually like it when it comes
3
from the
years, 3 years. Oh, no,
3
4
years.
years. No, 3. Sorry, I can't do
3, 3,
maths.
3. But it will be for next year, but I just like
Yeah,
it when it comes straight from the horse's mouth, the saying goes, rather than all
yeah,
these leakers coming through and being like, "Oh, here's this, here's that," like Tales of the Jedi, this come a photo leaked, and it's like, we sat on it for a while, so I was hoping that we'd get a little bit more stuff, whether it was Fallen Order. I'd rather hear it from Lucasfilm themselves being like,
yeah.
"We're getting Fallen Order 2," and not like some leakers being like, "Yep, it's already in development." Um, so
Well, I
yeah, I
mean,
read.
just to interject for a second,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because you're touching on it now, there's two very clear absences within Celebration. Fallen Order would be the first one, and the other is Obi-Wan. Even though they say they're going to touch on it in the first panel, it's like, guys, that
right,
show is debuting during Celebration, so they're
right,
two very clear absences.
right, and what easily they could have done, because we've speculated the reason they're dropping 2 episodes at once is because they probably think the first one is not strong enough to create like a social media reaction or that word of mouth response that they want. So it's like if you have a panel and maybe don't even stream some parts, right? Like you could for the people that are there, and hopefully if there was one, hopefully I could get in, but maybe for that one you just show like exclusive,
Yeah,
like a cool mid-season trailer and drop it for everybody, or like things that only select people in the audience know, and then that way like that word of mouth spreads like, yo, and you maybe even take phones at the door, right? Like don't let anyone record some footage, but be like, it would
I'd
be
love to
so.
see how that would go.
They do it at Comic-Con pretty well. Yeah, they do that at Comic-Con pretty well, but if they were able to do this for like for an event like this and just not even stream it, but like every attendee, like, hey, you can come in, take your notes, but it'd be cool to come out of there and be like, "Oh my god. Oh my god," like, talk about all the stuff that's in there and just create that, buzz they would so desperately want. But besides the absences, they have a really strong lineup. Excited for the live action stuff, excited for the animation stuff. Yeah, they have a really good diverse like of like they have like things for fans, like the collectors, a lot of publishing stuff, which you and I are excited about. And
Definitely.
yeah, the panels are gonna be great. The panels are gonna be great. Expect a lot of reveals. The first it seems like the biggest panel of that weekend is the first one that's happening. So,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
I'm
no,
interested
definitely,
I'm
definitely.
interested to see what they're gonna do with that. But are is that
Yeah.
here that you read out that you're most looking forward to?
Yeah, that first one definitely, because I think that's really going to just set the whole weekend up, and
Yeah.
um, that'll just what hopefully be what everyone's talking about the whole time, and what will hopefully lead into other panels and stuff. So yeah, but speaking of Fallen Order, I think you've got some Fallen Order news for us, and it's
We
not
do.
great.
We do, and hate to break it to y'all, but according to Venture Beat reporter Jeff Grubb, and apparently they're calling this guy the industry insider for this stuff, so he might get the scoop. I've never heard of this guy. I don't think Ari has ever heard of this guy, but
Nope.
here we are. It's making the news around, so we thought we'd share with you guys. Jedi Fallen Order 2 will reportedly not release on PS4 and Xbox One, instead being exclusive to PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. And of course, they're looking now for a 2023 release date. And also on top of that, it's like we just said, not going to be at Celebration, but it's going to make some. Apparently, we're supposed to expect some stuff at Celebration, but the original report from Jeff just says that the game's not coming out to 2023 and will only be available for those platforms that I just read out. Ari, you
Yeah.
hear this? Are you buying a PS5? What's going up?
Sounds like I'm gonna have to, but yeah, I don't know. I posted about this on Instagram a few hours ago, and already there's a mixed reaction. A lot of people probably, in mine and Mike's boat in terms of being like, "Oh, you're seriously gonna make me buy a PS5 for this? I know I could buy an Xbox Series X, but I'm just gonna tell you now that's not happening. Also, I'm not getting a PC, so it's like, okay, I guess I have to buy a PS5 to play the next Fallen Order game, which I just don't really want to do, to be honest. But this that's just how the world works nowadays. So that's how it is. We're gonna have to suck it up and buy a few PS5s. But the problem is, I'm like, how I don't even know the availability. This has nothing to do with Stars, but I'm like, how do I even get myself a PS5? I know the game doesn't come out till next year. But yeah, and then there's the other side of the response of people being like, "Oh, who cares? Like, it means the game will be better." And I totally get that. But at the same time, I'm like, "Oh man, a lot of people are gonna either not play this game or play it very late because of this. If this is true, which apparently this guy's pretty credible, so it sounds like it definitely could be. So my instant reaction is like, oh come on, but is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not that surprised by it. It's annoying, but I expected this would happen eventually. It's just annoying that it's probably for the game that I'm looking forward to most out of anything. So
Right.
yeah. What's your reaction to the news though?
Same. I've been looking for an excuse for me to upgrade my PS4, to upgrade to a
Yeah,
PS5.
that's true. I'm the
I've been
same.
looking for the perfect excuse. They released the Miles Morales game. And I was like, I'll get that for PS4, and I did, but I was like, it has to be a Star Wars title if I'm gonna upgrade. And this sounds like the
Yeah.
perfect thing to upgrade for. Um, I really hope that if this is true, if it's not coming out to 2023, really hope that they improve on the graphics. The graphics are great in the game, but like there was just bugs in there that would make the graphics
Oh
look like
yeah.
crap. So it was
Yeah.
like there's a serious moment, and then Seer Junda's like her jacket would be like on the other side of the room or whatnot. Like it was
Yeah.
pulling her in different ways. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is
No,
funny.
exactly.
So I really hope that this PS5 will be worth it, right? And I really, I mean, Battlefront, Star Wars is what made me get a PS4 in the first place, and I know that's the same for your
Yeah.
household. So
Yeah.
we
Exactly
again,
right.
it's happening again. The cycle continues almost a decade later. We're once again upgrading our console systems from the Wii to
Yeah.
PS4 and now the PS5. So yeah,
Sony has got a hold of both of our bank accounts, it looks like.
they do. So hey, after Celebration, I'm gonna start saving up my money again, and I'm gonna save up for a PS5. But I'm kind of not shocked that this game is not releasing this year. I feel like we would have heard something. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to.
we've heard during their earnings calls that they confirmed the game, and then recently Lucasfilm Games said that the Jedi Fallen Order game was in development, but they haven't really specified if it was a sequel to the Fallen Order one. So we'll see what's going on. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be fine. I think it'll look cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Next
yes.
year is a safe bet. But yeah, moving on now, Andor news. So in a translated interview from director of photography of Andor, Adriano Goldman, has indicated that Andor was initially planned for a 5-season run, which is mind-boggling, but is now set to have just 3 seasons. And season 2 is reportedly expected to begin filming in November. So the 5-season thing, can I just say straight off the bat, very interesting that that's the original plan, reduced to 3 seasons. I think first of all, can I say, love that they are like really planning a set story
Yes.
out. They want
Yep.
to tell a story, whether it's 2 seasons, 5 seasons, 10 seasons, I don't care. Plan it out. So I
Right.
love that. 5 seasons does seem like a lot though, so I'm glad it's kind of gone down to 3.
Right.
But love it. And then yeah, season 2 filming. I mean, that's great. Is what it is. Andor, I think we're gonna have our first look in about a month's time when Celebration comes around. So I know this news has me. Me and you have talked about this a lot, especially with our buddy True. Andor is going to be a sleeper hit. Like it's going to be a great show. Everyone out here saying, no one asked for this, no one asked for this. Well, just wait until you watch it, all right? Because I'm so willing to bet on the fact that this show will be very, very well received by
Yes.
Star Wars fans and the mainstream and everyone. So, what's your thoughts on this news? And I mean, Andor, it's really we're going to see it this year. We're about to see a trailer. Like the hype is building up, even though everyone's talking about Obi-Wan now. Don't forget about Andor.
So wait, Andor's not having like a designated panel at Celebration, like an exclusive one?
Nah, but I'd assume that's going to be in the Lucasfilm showcase at the start
Oh,
of the
that I
yeah
just want to say that's a real shame just because it was so cool having attended the Mandalorian one
yeah.
and
No, I
getting
feel
all
that.
this. I mean, they were like we knew nothing going in and they were giving us all this stuff and we don't know anything about the series really rather than a few quotes that we've gotten like almost a year ago, it feels like. So I feel
Yeah,
like a panel, and especially since Celebrations May, this series is looking to be released in like September. So I mean, that would make sense. But anyway,
yeah.
no, I'm excited for the series. I remember where I was when the series was first announced, and it wasn't even leaked or anything. It just like they released it. You know, it was like an official announcement, and I was like,
I remember
oh,
when that used to happen.
I know, remember? So I
Yeah.
think they announced in like 2018, 2019, but like I think was I knew where I was in my house and I was like I literally started jumping up and down like yes. And not just cuz the actor Diego Luna's Mexican like me, but it's just I really liked his character in Rogue One. It just felt different. So they announced that, started jumping up and down. Then as you're mentioning our buddy True and I got to attend an Alec Tudyk panel at Celebration and
Mm,
um
yeah.
hearing him just like talk about Star Wars and his involvement and stuff, it was just like really cool to hear about. So even though he's not gonna be in season one, just to hear that he's involved later on is really good. It has my
Definitely.
hook, and I feel like I've said on this podcast before. I love that the fact that the verbiage they're using to describe the series like a political thriller or whatnot. It's like yes,
Yeah.
do it, give me that because I love all the politics scenes in Rome, especially when they were all debating around the table and on Yavin 4 when they were like, do we go ahead with this plan? Like, no, we cannot fight and stuff like that. And to see Jin up there and being like the voice of reason, right? Going up there and giving yeah, just like I want more of that. And I know Tony Gilroy is attached to saved Rogue One, really. He's attached to the series, he's the showrunner, so I'm expecting pure glory from this. And I'm kind of glad people are sleeping on this series because everybody's gonna wake up with cold water when
Yeah.
this series hits.
Dead
So
set. Dead
I'm
set.
excited for the reaction, and yeah, the series has me sold. Yeah, I don't even know what the original topic discussion here was of the series because I just every time I talk about, it, I'm just like so excited to
Yeah.
see Cassian again and all the elements that he brings.
Definitely. Moving on to some other news, which you're going to tell us. Some other
Yep.
not so great news. Sorry, I just realized your name's down for all the bad news today.
I know. I'm very. So it's just been a mood this week. All right.
Yeah.
So our friend Jordan Mason, he's a great credible source that we always reference on the podcast. So shout out
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
He tweeted out that a there's he's been hearing that Grand Admiral Thrawn, the voice actor Lars Mikkelsen, as we all love in Rebels, will
Yeah.
not be reprising his role in the live action Ahsoka series, despite previous reports.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not great news. Ari, I know you're a big Rebels fan. I know you
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
Thrawn. What's your take?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, so are you. But yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus, this is very disappointing. If this is true, it was a rumor. It was rumored that he'd be in it. Now it's rumored that he's not going to be in it. So it's like we don't really know. I would say, do you think we'll hear about possible casting at Celebration?
Nope.
Yeah, I so highly doubt that. Anyway, though, like,
Maybe maybe at the panel that we're both hyped at, I feel like first
yeah,
at the
that
look at the future of Star, I feel
definitely.
like they'll release like tidbits like, oh yeah, and by the way, this person's returning. Yeah, I feel like we'll
Yeah,
get that.
for sure. But yeah, no, like, just it's very disappointing. Lars Mikkelsen, he's got the cheekbones, he's got it all. The voice
He's
is
got the
just
cheekbones.
it's become so iconic. Like, I just I feel like they're really gonna be blowing it here if they don't recast him, I guess, as Thrawn, because he should be playing that character. That's all I really have to say. It should be Lars. If it's not, I'm sure they'll cast it like well. The casting of um animated to live action has been pretty good, but then we've got the Bo-Katan casting with Katie Sackhoff. Perfect. We got
Right.
the voice actor playing the live action role. When it works, do it, and I think it works here. So please do it.
I just don't understand the trend of replacing. You see, these people come from like Jason Isaacs and Lars Mikkelsen. They both
Yeah,
come from the world of live action acting, and
yeah,
they were because of their talent they were enrolled to voice these characters, and the fact that you can't like, oh wow, like let's go back to where we even pulled you from and cast you as your characters is so mind-boggling to me.
yeah,
Like Jason Isaacs, like he's a live action actor, and you guys didn't get him to play the Grand Inquisitor, and we're doing that again. If this rumor's true, we're doing that
yeah,
again with Lars, or is that his name? Or no, Mads is Galen. This is Lars.
yeah,
So you're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
this again with Lars. It's like why? I don't understand. It's like this is their home, their comfort space. Being live action actors, and yeah, I hope this is not true because, as you said, he's got the cheekbones, and it would be great to have him just transferred over to the live action world. And there, even I've spoken to Timothy Zahn on number of occasions already, and he's like, "Oh man, that Thrawn voice, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"I've complete." And he said, like
Mm,
going back and reading like my own work when I do or when I think of Thrawn's voice, it's Lars now. It's not what I
definitely.
ever had intended. What look at how Rebels handled that so well. And he's like, oh, no, it's just the voice. And when I go back and read the new books and stuff, I just hear Lars's voice. Like it's that impactful, it's that powerful. So
Mm.
I hope this isn't true because I will be vastly disappointed, and you will hear about it on the podcast. And Ari will
You
hear
most
about it
certainly will.
24/7, and
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
not shut up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Well, I mean, that's all there is to say, really. Let's hope that you know, it's not true. But yeah, anyway, moving on, some Obi-Wan stuff. A lot of little Obi-Wan things. First of all, I think I'm forgetting the magazine, but there was revealed by a magazine
Total
a bunch
film.
of photos. Yep, that's it. So for I guess the biggest talking point of it was, well, I mean, Ewan, Obi-Wan, obviously. I don't know why. Sometimes I just call him Ewan. Obi-Wan has the new outfit, which, I mean, yeah, looks cool. Didn't really have much else to say about it. But then the Grand Inquisitor did look a little different. I don't know if that was just like seeing him in a different light or they changed it up. I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, uh, I was like, okay. Still looks terrifying, but and not in a good way. But
Right.
um I was yeah, I thought, okay, at least they've made it a little better. I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a different angle. The angles that we've seen from him in the
Yeah,
trailer have not been pretty,
exactly.
but this angle is not so bad. It makes him look less like Humpty Dumpty with the head, so I
Yeah, the head
appreciate
looks a
that.
little longer. Yeah.
Yeah, the head on the angle just looks a little bit longer. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it as much anymore. I'm like, if that was the first picture we've seen, I would've been like, "Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
that's cool."
True.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, if this is the first picture that I got, I would've been like, "Oh my god, this is cool." But the
Yeah.
angles that we've gotten in the trailer, I'm just
Yeah.
scared to see the rest.
The one in the trailer where he's on Tatooine
Oh,
is
no.
horrible. That one just,
Horrible.
like, is imprinted in my
Yeah,
mind.
that's
Like,
the one I'm talking about. He doesn't, I mean, he looks
yeah.
bad in the other one, in my opinion, but the one
Yeah.
on Tatooine that you're suggesting, I thought, oh, the pan up is so
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Oh,
Jesus
so it's
Christ.
just an angle. It's a different angle, but I will say, like I said, if this was the first glance that we got at him, I would have been like, holy cow, this looks good. So
Yeah.
yeah, I all these stills look great, and I once again, it's the it's these magazines that are carrying the marketing for this series so far, because
Yeah.
we have not gotten anything from Lucasfilm.
Exactly right. And some other news. I think you'll have more to say on this than me, but Loki composer Natalie Holt has confirmed her involvement in Obi-Wan as she is doing the score. I haven't seen Loki, Mike has, so don't really know what to think of that at all, to be honest. And also, I think it was her that said John Williams himself was the one that requested to write the Obi-Wan theme. So for those that are confused, Natalie Holt is doing everything besides the main theme of the show, from all reports, and John Williams will be doing that main one,
Right.
which is awesome. But
Awesome.
yeah, Mike, it was the soundtrack to Loki good. Like, what do you think?
It was really good. It
Yeah.
was so good that I watched the rest of the previous Marvel series at that point, WandaVision and
Mhm.
uh Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But Loki was the first one to be like, this soundtrack is so good that I need to
Yeah.
look it up on my music app and like listen to the soundtrack, and I did. And I was just like,
Mhm.
and here's the thing, like I didn't jump on Twitter after watching the first episode and being like what people were talking about. I watched the series like a little bit after it started debuting, so I was like out of the loop of what the conversations were. But yeah, she did a masterful job at doing the score, and it just like carried a lot of scenes, or just it helped flow things along, and it just here's the thing with music scores. If it sticks out, I know it's good. It's like, oh wow, you're
Yeah.
not just background noise. Like
Yeah.
you're actually like adding to the story, and we can
That's
actually
it.
hear it. Because usually Marvel shows and Marvel movies, like the music is just in the background, and you just like, Danny Elfman scored this? The Danny Elfman? Couldn't even tell. But
Yeah.
but she made an impact with her soundtrack for Loki. So I'm when they announced it for this series, I was like, bring it on, bring it on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy, and I can't wait to see what she brings.
Awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. That actually makes me want to watch Loki a little bit, because I watched all the shows before, the Marvel shows before that one, and then for some reason Loki is just where I stopped watching them. But
Mm.
anyway, some more Kenobi stuff. Deborah Chow. First of all, she debunked the report claiming that Maul was originally set to appear in the series. There was like a few days on Instagram where everyone was just talking about Darth Maul was originally meant to be in the series, all this stuff, and then Deborah Chow and a few others from Lucasfilm said, nope, that was never happening. Chow said, as long as I've been involved, we've never had Darth Maul in any of it. So yeah, I don't know. I just think this has been a funny little story that's run around the news cycle, and it's kind of like hit its dead end here. It's like, well,
Right.
I guess that was never happening. Was it never happening? I don't know. Do I care? Not really. I'm just glad he's not going to be in it.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear Deborah praise Rebels, because in that extended quote, she was like,
Oh yeah, for
Dave
sure.
already did it, and he did a great job at it. And I was like, awesome. She's watched Rebels. She's a Rebel stan, right? So that's great.
If only Dave did that for the comic writers as well.
Oh my god, right, right.
I'm
No,
joking around a bit, but yeah.
I mean, Dave even retconned Return of the Jedi when he included in Rebels, he included the eyebrow
True,
for and he did that on purpose. I remember people were trying to ask him why, and he was just like, I don't know. So he likes to mess
because
with
I
the
wanted
fans for
to.
sure.
Yeah,
Because I wanted to. That
yeah,
was such a big controversy. Wow, times have changed. It was
yeah,
we're talking about an eyebrow, but yeah, this is. I feel bad because I did post about this on my Instagram page, and I gave the full rundown. And I mean, it came from a reliable source, Hollywood Reporter, and they have
yeah.
all the best sources. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
didn't even think about that. Hollywood Reporters got one wrong, it seems.
yeah. The last time they got one wrong was when they attached James Mangold, a director. I forgot what movie he did. I think it was Logan. Maybe not. Maybe I'm off.
Right.
But they attached him to doing a Boba Fett movie, and, and he like tweeted out
Yeah.
immediately as the article went out and was like, L for you guys, because this is not true at all." So
Yeah.
this is another memorable moment where I was like, oh damn, Hollywood Reporter is wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, we this is a teachable moment for all of us. Take these rumors, maybe the Fallen Order rumors false with
Yeah.
the exclusivity console thing, but
Mm.
just take things with caution. Rumor, even though every leak and rumor may seem true nowadays. But yeah, I'm glad that Maul was never even attached to this series, but I will say I believed it because I mean it takes me back to Solo. Um, when Ron Howard was taking over, they had like the Maul stuff, and instead of
Mm,
getting Sam Witwer, the iconic voice actor now known as Maul, I think everyone just recognizes Witwer as Maul. They got like the original voice actor from Phantom Menace from the 5 lines he says in the movie to voice Maul in Solo, and it's like, who was thinking around here? Sam Witwer voiced the like whole 2 series with Maul, and you guys are not gonna bring him back? Like that makes no sense. Like Sam Witwer had to pitch like the Solo crew for him for them to have the voice. So it's like, what's going on? So I believe this. I was like, well, I guess we're not paying attention to the series again. So or to the animated TV shows, but again, when I heard this news, I was relieved. I was like, all right, all the trust in Deborah Chow and to all the creators making this series. So yeah, if anything, this got me more pumped for the series because it's like, throw that out the window. We're full steam ahead with what we know what we're doing, and we're gonna focus on the tools that this character of Obi-Wan, what he carries on his belt, and all this stuff that comes with him. Vader, all the people on Tatooine that he's supposedly watching over, Luke. So I'm glad that that's going to be like the central focus and not like, oh, let's play with Maul for an episode or two,
yeah.
So yeah, this is good news. This is good news.
I just gotta say, I'm pretty sure Sam Witwer did voice Maul in Solo. I just looked it up because
No,
I was like, I'm pretty sure he did.
no, he did, but originally they got I forgot what his name is. They got another voice actor. Like
Right,
uh,
right, right. Okay,
Sam
okay.
Witwer
I
had
was
a
like, I
pitch
was
to
like, how
them.
does Mike not know this? Come on,
No,
all Star Wars, more like no Star Wars knowledge.
no,
Um,
Sam. Well, it was Art who was wrong here, by the way. But no,
no,
like
no,
it's
no.
just sad.
All
Sam
right,
Witwer had to pitch
okay.
them.
Now I understand what you were saying.
Now he
I was like,
understands.
anyway, but yeah, I agree with everything you just said. But another thing Deborah Chow said is kind of similar to something that Rupert Friend said last week that we talked about. She said that the series will feature a mixture of new and important characters, and she says, "I think there are some surprises to come." So once again, it's like, oh, please, 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 can the talking point of every week not be, oh my god, it's Darth Maul, or like
Yeah.
whatever it is, or like, oh my god, it's Ahsoka. Like, I just, yeah, if the cameos work, great, but let's have a nice story that drives itself without cameos. And I don't know,
Right.
I'm not too worried about it because I trust Deborah Chow, you know, so I'm not too worried. But we keep hearing a lot of like, oh, like there's a lot of surprises in Kenobi. It's just like, mm,
I feel
yeah,
like her I feel like Obi-Wan will mirror exactly the work that she's done on Mandalorian. Like think
mm,
back to the 3rd episode she directed where I was like,
yeah,
wow, it carries a story, it continues the story, and then you have all these like cool surprises with along the way where it just doesn't go the way you think it does, and all these Mandalorians show up and you're like, there's more of them? Right
yeah,
here? Like, what? So that the way they it just all popped up and, they were ready to fight in action because we had seen them, but they were all, like, now in like, jetpacks and fighting, so it was, like, the episode flowed and led us off to that, like, epic moment, just remind I
mm,
feel like all the surprises that she talks about, I think they're gonna be well earned, and I don't think she's gonna throw stuff
yeah,
at us. I really
absolutely,
wish I've seen Jessica Jones because she directed some of episodes in season 2. I've only watched season 1, and I heard that the episodes that she worked on were really good, and I'm like, "Dang, I should check
yeah,
those
right,
out." But just based on from her work on The Mandalorian, I think we're in for a real treat from her. So, yeah, we'll see.
definitely. Hopefully, like the surprises in terms of cameos and stuff. I hope it refers to only one man, and that's Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon, because that's the
Yes.
only like cameo I'm like, please, please, please.
Right.
Imagine a photo, a behind the scenes photo that they reveal after the series is finished of Hayden, Ewan, and Liam Neeson. Like, oh, just imagine. Come on,
I
come
just
on.
if Qui-Gon's in here, which I wanna say we all know he's gonna be in here, right? I really
Yeah,
hope that that's
surely,
the case.
surely, surely.
Surely, right? Like, that's a
Yeah,
no-brainer moment. Because all the
yeah.
source material that we have in canon has pinpointed Ari, trivia question, how many years after Revenge of the Sith does the series take place?
10.
Yes. In all the recent source material has pointed that Obi-Wan learned um the what would you call it? The way into the cosmic force, the way of what I don't know
Sure.
what
Yeah.
the terminology is escaping me because I'm recording this at like midnight for me. But it happens 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So after the Clone Wars had ended. So it's like, I think this lines up pretty well. So what are
I
we
think you're
grabbing?
referring to this book from a certain point of view.
You know what? Yes. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking about Skywalker Saga where I mentioned it, but yes, exactly happens in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the people, just for everyone out there, people have like debated about the canon from a certain point of view books, the anniversary books for A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and their validity in canon. And some of the stories you can take as canon, and they're definitely canon. Some other ones are just like goofy and supposed to be fun. So, but there's a chapter in there called Master and Apprentice, and it deals with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and it's a very moving scene, and it's written by the
Yeah.
legendary Claudia Gray. So please, if you get the chance, read that before the show, and hopefully,
Definitely do. Definitely do. Because I was just saying it's my second favorite of here behind the Lando one. But what were you gonna say?
I really hope that they've all the creatives read this piece because it's so well
Yeah. Yeah.
written.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that's the case. But in terms of yeah, I guess the marketing, like I said, like I hate when we know that Palpatine's gonna be Rise of Skywalker and they don't show us. We know Qui-Gon's gonna be here. Yes, there's the silhouette of Qui-Gon. You guys seriously need to read Master and Apprentice. By the way,
Page 81. Get on it.
if you're listening to audio, Ari was flashing around his a certain point of view book from A New Hope. So get around it. But yeah,
Definitely.
I just hope from now until Obi-Wan debuts with 2 episodes, they like really work on the marketing material because I'm watching all these other
Yeah.
shows that are coming around the same time, and they already posted all their trailers, TV spots. Now they're just doing behind the scenes material, and it's like,
Yeah.
man,
They're just
Obi-Wan
counting
hasn't
down the days, whereas Obi-Wan needs to like kick into hyperdrive right now.
literally because they haven't
Yeah.
even released the official trailer. What we've gotten is just a teaser
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah. And same with the poster. It was a teaser poster.
It
You
was
know,
a
like
teaser poster, right?
yeah.
Man, I mean, I'm
We'll
glad
see. We'll see.
I'm
We'll
glad
see.
for Total Film Entertainment Weekly and our friend Ruber Friend for gassing us up for Kenobi because yeah,
Exactly.
all we've been getting from Lucasfilm is teaser trailers and one teaser trailer and a teaser poster, but we'll see. Ari and I,
Yeah.
we're excited for Kenobi, so bring it on. And with that,
Very much so.
and listen, other two people that are like hyping up the series a lot is Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. And we'll start off with Ewan McGregor. So recently he was asked if he'd come back as Obi-Wan in the future and stuff, and he said he'd be totally up for return after the series. Like he joked around, he said, hey Disney, knock knock, I'm knocking at your door again. I love to come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
So
I'm
I
not going
I'm
anywhere.
not going, and it's great.
Yeah.
The way they have, which we'll talk about in a sec, the way they have Hayden continually seems like they're gonna keep him around for a while. I want them to do that with Ewan because I remember all the interviews in
Definitely.
2015, 2016 of Ewan like being like, even did he play us? I think he knew that the Kenobi series was going on, in every interview he'd be like, "No, I genuinely don't know
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on." He knew.
Oh, I haven't heard
So
anything. Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
so I haven't heard anything. I'm begging at their door. So maybe he knows something that we don't.
Yeah,
But I'd love to see him again. Ari, you want to
yeah.
see Ewan back?
Well, absolutely, but also it's like like Lucasfilm are like, oh, people get excited for Luke Skywalker. Okay, let's push him into everything. If you think that's something, just wait until you put Ewan McGregor in everything. People are
Right.
going to lose it. Like this Obi-Wan series is going to be, fantastic, I'm sure. But then, man, I'm not saying just throw him around. Yeah, just put him in everything because people love it. I'm saying like capitalize on the fact that Ewan McGregor is keen to stick around for some further projects. Only do it when necessary and when it works. But if he wants to, hold him to that, and yeah, get it.
Yeah.
Keep him in the Star Wars cycle because
Do it.
the fans love him. Not only him, like we love Obi-Wan. Like, and it's not a Mark Hamill situation where you have to be like de-aging him or anything. Like he still looks great. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that they did. I mean, I'm reading, we've talked about in the last episode how we're both reading Brotherhood, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, there's still so much to do with Obi-Wan. There's so many angles of
Yeah,
his character that you can just dive in and explore and just do a whole bunch with him. So yeah, and
yeah,
by the way, I'm loving the Obi-Wan treatment that he's getting right now with stories. And Brotherhood, listen, Brotherhood is a good story. Um, uh, no, I will. Yeah, it's you should read it. You should read it pretty soon. We'll be dropping our review there. Let me get my copy. There we go.
get the
I'm gonna
copies out.
wait till Ari get. Yeah, there we go. So, anyways, Attack of the Clones. We talked about it earlier. Turning 20 years old, and then this book literally takes place right after Attack of the Clones. So you get some feelings about you get some of that Attack of the Clones feelings. The characters are somewhat the same from Attack of the Clones, but they've also grown. So you should, y'all, seriously treat yourself before Obi-Wan read Brotherhood. We can't really talk about it until the embargo date lifts, so we'll wait for that for our full breakdown and
Which
stuff.
is
But
very soon,
very
very, very
soon,
soon.
very soon. So stay tuned and make sure
Yeah.
you subscribe and to all our podcast platforms and on YouTube. So we'll definitely be doing a review. But all right. So now that we talked about Obi-Wan and Ewan, now we move on to Hayden Christensen, and he's been making the rounds to everything he says just gets turned into a headline, and we love it. We love it. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
addressed if he will return to Star Wars after Obi-Wan, saying that the extent of his journey, Darth Vader's journey, I think remains to be seen. So, Ari, what does this say, and what do you think it means?
I think he's having an immediate nudge at the Ahsoka series because I agree with him. The extent of Darth Vader's journey, I think there's a little bit beyond Return of the Jedi, which would be very cool to explore. And I think that is in the form of the cosmic force coming back as a force ghost. You know, being in that Ahsoka series, I just it's been rumored. Hollywood Reporter did it, and I think it'll happen. I think he's pretty much teasing that right here. So yeah,
In the same article, he was asked if he was going to do the Ahsoka series, and he said he said he wouldn't confirm or deny. So if he was one, to be excited back to being, excited to be brought back into Star Wars, he wasn't in the Ahsoka series, he'd be singing a similar tune to you and being like, "Hey, Disney, knocking at your door again." But he's definitely
yeah,
doing
yeah.
the whole, yeah, not gonna confirm or deny. Yeah, I
So
definitely
I
think,
don't
as
know
you
what's
said,
happening.
I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
what's happening. I definitely think this is a nudge
yeah.
towards the Ahsoka series, and who knows what else he's attached to. I'm glad they're keeping, wonderful people like Hayden Christensen around, and yeah, he's just such a cool dude. Like he's just with it with the fans. Like there could be seeing him like standing in line waiting to take a picture with him late last year. It was so cool seeing like the first like the diversity of his fans, and you had like one girl that was like screaming into his ear basically, and he like loved it. He was just laughing, and then another mellow dude just went up to him and was like, "Thanks, dude." He's like, "Yeah, thanks for coming by." I was like, "Wow, this dude Hayden Christensen is just the best." So yeah, I'd love to see him back and stuff. So it's a little wink wink to some future stuff. So with that, Ari, what
Definitely.
else are we winking to today? What else are we toasting?
Well, I mean, that's all that that is all the news. But yeah, before I wrapped up, just want to, I mean, yeah, just talk about the podcast for a second, episode 50. In terms of actual updates, Brotherhood is coming out very soon. A lot of coverage. May the 4th, doing a lot for that as well. And we're just going to do a general channel update sometimes very soon. I don't know if I said that last week, but it is coming soon before celebration. We just want to lay out the podcast plans, have our own little investor day, if you like. But yeah, so look out for that. But yeah, no, 50 episodes. It's genuinely crazy. I think podcast has almost been going for 2 years in May, sometime toward the end of May. I think during celebration actually is like the 2-year anniversary of the podcast. So, whether you've just started listening, last week or when Mike jumped on board or way back in 2020, just thank you to everyone. Like it's been so much fun, and man, so cliche to say this, but like it really is like just the start of a lot. I feel like me and Micah got such a good thing going here. There's so much to do. Like, I just think of some of the stuff we've already done, like that interview with Daniel Jose Older, just amazing. Like meeting, like if it wasn't for the podcast, I wouldn't be, going to celebration with Mike or anything like that. We met through the podcast. You can go and listen to our like first proper conversation together, which was recording a podcast, which is crazy. So I've met so many friends through here. It's just, oh, it's been so much fun. And like, it's just some people are just genuinely so kind. I got a message the other day, like, there's a lot that I really appreciate, but there was one, I can't remember exactly what was said, but it just like, man, hit me in the feels. I was like, some people are just so lovely. So I just appreciate everyone who tunes in, whether that's every week or, once a month, whenever it is. I appreciate all the support, and couldn't be talking about the podcast without thanking the man right here, Mike himself. The podcast has completely transformed over the last, like, what is it, 3-4 months we've been going. This is our 20th episode together, because I know I did 30 by myself, and now this is the 20th with you. So, I mean, just look at where we're sitting in this nice background. We've got the Stars Exchange on top of us. We got the stars. Mike creates all this. So, and with you, we've become an audio and video podcast. I probably wouldn't have done that if I didn't have someone sitting next to me. It would have felt a bit awkward just sitting here by myself. So, I was the one that reached out to Mike, asking him to come on board. Like, it wasn't him like being like, oh, like put me in. So, like, so grateful to him for jumping on board, and man, it's just been crazy. And as I say, cliche as hell, but it's only the beginning. So much coming up, but yeah.
Definitely.
Do you have anything you want to say, Mike?
I think I'll save the more deeper part of my story, the emotional part, for when we do a video in person together. But
Definitely.
whenever I think of whenever I think of you in this podcast, I get emotional just because I like the dedication that Ari has put into this podcast is beyond me. It's just something that it's still not tangible, and something that still hasn't clicked with me. Just because when I met him, it was this kid podcasting by himself, and doing this thing, being like a just like a solo band, and he just got like, there's moments where it was just him by himself reviewing episodes of Mandalorian. Didn't care how many people listened to it, but just cared that he was putting his voice out there. And that always inspired me, because sometimes I get lost by the numbers and being like, only 13 people listen to this or whatnot, or watch this. He didn't care. He just went out there and did his thing, and whoever listened. And that really like humbled me, and like brought me back to how I started off, where I didn't care about numbers and stuff like that. And seeing him grow from making all these friends on Instagram, and then crossing paths with him. I was just, like I said, I'll save this for another time, but I was just in a different stage of my life where it was just kind of dark and whatnot. And then I just again met this kid, and I remember jumping on the first Zoom call with him. I had not listened. Actually, I listened to some episodes of his just because I wanted to get a feel of what the podcast was before I hopped on. And I still didn't know what he looked like. And I remember jumping into Zoom and being like, you're just a kid. Like, holy cow. Like this dude, man, it's been so like just an honor to be brought into this space with you. And one of our friends, as we mentioned, true Star Wars dude, he was like, when you guys joined forces together, it just made sense, because I was a podcast guy, and Ari was the podcast guy. So it was just like, it just made sense. So I was like, yeah, it did. So I remember when Ari asked me to join this, I was like a bit scared, because I know how much this podcast means to him. I know how hard he's worked on it. I know how many people love it. So I was like, I don't want to come in and mess things up, but everyone has received me with open arms. And and Ari and I just also, our friendship has just transformed into something else, where we're not just like podcast buddies. So it's just like it's just been an insane journey. So the fact that I get to sit here on your 50th episode, well, it's still my 20th. I'm still an infant. The fact that you've done 50 of these is still just beyond me. And it's just not going to click with me until later, than being like, it just, yeah, Ari, listen, everyone listening, Ari is seriously an inspiration of mine, and he's just a very kind person, always dedicated. Like, I'm every single week, same thing from him. It's like he gets cracking on the podcast, like he just knows his craft, and I love it. And I'm there for support as well. And I do some of the other stuff, but just he just flows naturally, and it's just he's very dedicated. Like every week, podcast time, this and that, and I'm like, wow, I would never stay consistent as him. So again, seriously, if you're watching on YouTube and you can comment, congratulate Ari. This is doing 50 podcast episodes is no little feat. It's a big milestone, and yeah, I thank Ari for all that he's done for not just me but for the community. I think that he's just a passionate voice to listen to, where even if we get negative times, he's like, we don't want to be negative, we just want to talk about how we're feeling about stuff, and he's just a voice in sometimes what could be a toxic space. So yeah, congratulations, Ari. I'm glad to be sitting here next to you, and to 50 more.
Absolutely. Nah, the best 50 episodes will be when it's our 50th episode together of the Stars Exchange. But dude, appreciate it a lot. Like, man, I think we talked about it briefly, but Mike and I are finally going to meet together in person for the first time in a month, a day before Celebration, which is going to be insane. So, because we keep saying like, yeah, Celebration, I'm so excited for, but like to meet each other, that's even more exciting. So, dude, appreciate all that. Means a lot. But yeah, wouldn't have even got to 50 if you didn't jump on board. So, no.
Thank you.
Anyway, look, the point is we love everyone. We appreciate it all. But yeah, that just about wraps up the show for the week. I reckon
It does.
Mike, do the outro.
You don't want to do the outro? You know what? You do the outro. It's your 50th episode. You do it.
Well, yep, that just wraps us up for the week. If you haven't already, please drop a like, rating, or review, depending on how you're listening. Subscribe or follow the channel on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever else podcasts are available. Be sure to also keep up with us on our socials. Jeez, for my 50th episode, this is a terrible outro. Keep up with us on our socials. Mike, where can people find you?
Hey, if you ever want to follow me, I'm all Star Wars on Instagram, Twitter, and be sure to follow our Instagram page, because guess what? This episode was delayed by a day. You know who found out? All the people following us. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, the SW Exchange, for the latest updates on the podcast and when we'll be delaying some episodes.
Yeah, if you want to know when we're delaying episodes, go there. But no, hopefully no more delays ever again. But yeah, and if you want to find me at Stars_Exchange on Twitter, no, on Instagram, what am I saying? And at the SW Exchange on Twitter. But yeah, go check it out. But thank you very much for the 50th time. We'll see you all next time. As always, thanks for listening. May the Force be with you. See you later.
Adios.